All right, we're watching Erin's butterfly from above the water here. As we get out here, the first thing I want to talk about real quick is how straight her arms are here and here. That's an excellent job on the the above water recovery, and you can see that she's trying to get her head down pretty quickly too, which is fantastic. I like to see that a lot, Erin. As we go into the stroke here, you can see that her head's down, her hands are a little bit wide of the entry, more here and here. You want to make sure that those hands are really close together, almost shoulder width apart when you're reaching. So you just got to try and reach a little bit further forward on that stroke. Okay, as you are entering the water, just make sure that right at shoulder width apart, and then you're perfect. The other thing that you can see, and we've talked about this a lot, is here's one more. As you get your hands, you can start to see how your wrists are bending just a little bit on that entry. So right here, they're perfect, right? You've got your wrists right in line with your arms. That's excellent. We like that a lot. But then at the very end, you start to let those wrists kind of fall. So here's your arm here, and then your wrist is like this. Here's your arm here, and then your wrist is like that. Make sure you keep your hands outstretched. Make sure you keep your wrists a little bit more locked. Don't let them get quite so loose right at the end and kind of let them fall apart to the side. Okay, you got to keep them together. Keep them all in line with your arms all the way through. Now that was a little bit better entry too. You can see how close your hands are there. So you did reach a lot further forward there. So maybe just the early part of your stroke, you're a little wide, but there that looks a lot better. Look how wide your hands are when they're exiting that water. Okay? So we want to make sure that it's right in line, right by your hips, near the bottom of your stroke is really what we'd like to see every single time. Kind of see how high your head is here as well. You're not taking a breath there, but your whole head is almost above that water. So let's make sure we keep working it, not lifting the head quite so high when we're not taking a breath. Keep your shoulders, keep your chest, keep your head a little bit lower in that water, and it's going to be a lot stronger butterfly. Again, good job of getting that head down quickly. I mean, you're so good at getting a good, quick, fast breath. Here you can see those wrists a little bit more bent, a little bit easier as we're getting closer to the end of the wall. As you come into our turn, come back just a little bit. As you come into our turn, watch your hands, how you flatten out those hands completely. So you're almost like saying, hey, I'm going to slow down before I get the wall. You want to make sure those fingertips are outstretched in that wall. You don't want those hands going quite so high. I mean, literally, your whole wrists are above the water at this point, and so you're reaching above the gutter instead of into that wall. Make sure you're kind of hitting that wall, not above the gutter so much, okay? Now, as we do our turn, your eyes are looking down. We want those eyes looking straight directly at this hand here as it comes off the wall, all right? Because if you were watching that hand, you'll be able to slide it right behind your ear. But as we see here, we don't really look to see where that hand is, and it's out behind your head. That's good, but your eyes are here instead of right here where those hands are. So make sure you're watching that hand come off that wall, whichever hand that is, whether it's your right or your left. Make sure you watch it really good. Good, push off the wall, nice looking streamline. Hold your streamline just a shade longer. Okay, you want to hold it maybe about 1 or 2 seconds so that your shoulders and your chest are like parallel to the bottom of the pool before you start that first stroke. Okay, good kick out, so, and good no breath in the very first part of the stroke. Excellent job there too. But let's make sure that we're trying to do a little bit better job of holding the streamline before we start that kick. Okay, excellent, great job, Erin.